Hi everyone. Thanks for joining the call. I know you guys are, super busy, and I really appreciate you spend time joining this training session in very short notice because we have, we have planned very lately. So thank you for joining. Without any further delay, I'll just take you through the training session. So how speakers who is Satish and also Muthu, who is going to take you through the live product demo, and of course we'll have a Q&A session where we can answer all your queries. So probably for the next 30-40 minutes they will take you through the live product demo. Then for the next 10-15 minutes they will cover the case studies, and next 20 minutes probably we can have it for the Q&A session. Thank you for once again for joining this call. So now I'll hand it over to Satish, who will take you through the product demo. And I can see people from various geographies, right from Australia, Germany. I can see from South Africa. So really appreciate joining this call. Over to Satish now.
So very good afternoon and good evening, everyone. So in this session, I'm just going to explain what all the functionalities available with the product Innomaint and how this functionalities works in the real time. So just give me a minute. I'll be just sharing my screen. Hoping that everyone can see my screen. And this is our product Innomaint. So, which means an innovative maintenance management software which helps to automate all the maintenance activities across different locations or in the different factories. So, it's a cloud-based application. So, you can use our platform in both web and also in the mobile. And for the mobile application, it supports both Android and also in the iOS. So this is my application dashboard, so which gives you the complete overview of all the modules inside the application. But before we detail the dashboard, let's start from the basic setup. So what are all the data that you may need to start this Innomaint application? So the first and foremost data you may need was the location data where your assets are. So here your end customer can define their location name by just defining their factory name, and they can define their address either manually or they can just pick their exact location using our geo address feature. So once the location has been defined, they can map all the buildings, floors and rooms that is there in their particular premises. So it can be customizable based on the end customer. It can be changed to plans, buildings, floor, or it can be customized based on the customer requirement. So this is the first step. We need to define the location where our assets are. In some scenario, if you are having if your customer is having their plants or factories in multiple location, they can use this one common platform to manage their assets in multiple location. So this is the first step. And in the second step, they can onboard all their teams who are going to use this Innomaint application. It can be their production team, maintenance team, or the management team. So to create any users, these are all the mandatory fields like their first name, last name, email address, contact number, and the role of the particular user with the organization. So once the user has been added, the user will be active on our application, so they can just start performing their activities. So this will be considered as the second step. So in the first step, we will define the location where our assets are. And in the second step, we can onboard all the users who are going to use this Innomaint application. And in the third step, we can add all the assets or the machines that can be managed using this Innomaint application. So for adding the assets, we have given two options. Either you can add manually or you can also bulk upload using the Excel template. So for all the data, it is not restricted to assets, locations, or users. For all the data that you are going to add into this Innomaint application, we are giving this bulk upload option. So you can just download our template and you can just feed all your data. So once you upload it back, the master will be automatically updated. So we don't want to enter our assets manually one by one. At the same time, for all the assets or the equipments you have been added into this Innomaint application, the QR code will be automatically generated. So we can just get those QR code based on the location wise or based on the particular equipment wise. So we can just print those QR code and paste it in the assets or in the facilities. So by just scanning the QR code, the production team can raise instant breakdown. And by just scanning the QR code, the maintenance team can just start performing their maintenance activities. At the same time, by just scanning the QR code, the management team can just see the overall the asset status and its history. So this is the use of this QR code option. So maybe for this the particular training, we can just walk through it one sample lesson, like how an asset can be configured into the system and how the maintenance activities can be planned for the particular asset. So before that, using this Innomaint application, you can manage any type of assets. It can be a small equipment, it can be a heavy equipment. So here you can just find some sample examples like forklift, mixing kettle, the welding machines, and the stirrup machines, or some like sewing machines. So any machines can be managed in the same with this Innomaint application. So for this demo purpose, we can just consider this mixing kettle as an the common example. So to add any asset into this Innomaint application, these are considered to be the mandatory fields. Like who is the manufacturer, what is the machine category, what is the name, what is the model. If required, you can also define the subcategory, description, and image of the particular asset. So once the asset has been added, you can also define the ID of the particular asset. So for each and every machine in the manufacturing industry, they will maintain some unique number. So we can define those unique number as an asset ID and we can map with the location. So in which location it was there, in which building, so we can map till room wise. So based on the asset ID, the QR code will be generated. So these are the three basic data required to start this Innomaint application. The location data where your assets are, the users who are going to use this Innomaint application, the assets what we are going to manage with this Innomaint application. So once we configure these three data, the application is ready for the maintenance activities. So before moving into the maintenance part, if there is any additional support documents like user guides or user manuals related to the particular asset needs to be added, you can add all those documents over here. And if you want to add or map the spare parts or the inventories related to the particular asset, we can map those inventories over here. And all the complaints or the breakdowns that has been raised against this particular asset will be automatically tracked over here. And in the solution bank, you can find what all the history of complaints that has been raised and what was the root cause and solution given by the end engineers. So those data will be recorded over here. And if you want to add any other additional information related to this particular asset, you can add those under this add info option. And in some scenario, normally in the maintenance activities, they'll be following two different methods. One is based on the calendar, maybe the daily maintenance, weekly, monthly, quarterly, halfly, or the annual maintenance. In some scenario, they will do their maintenance activities based on some conditions, like based on the working hour of one particular machine, or based on the temperature level, or based on the vibrations. So if that's a condition, you can define all the conditions over here. So what is the point you need to be monitored and how much days it needs to be monitored. So once it reaches a value, you can automatically get an alert and you can set the maintenance activities. So maybe now I can just take you to how the maintenance activities can be managed in this Innomaint application. So normally we are doing two types of maintenance activities. One is the routine or the preventive maintenance, and second one will be the breakdown maintenance. So first we'll move on with the preventive maintenance part. So all the scheduled or the preventive maintenance can be added over here under the schedule option. Either you can add manually or you can also bulk upload using the Excel template. So to create any schedules, as a first step, you need to define the schedule name and you can set your schedule priority, whether it's high, medium, or low. And you can create a schedule based on calendar. So under the calendar, we have given 9 frequencies. So how often you are going to perform this preventive maintenance activities based on the hourly wise, day wise, date wise, week, month, or years. So for an example, let's consider this particular mixing kettle needs to be do a maintenance for every 3 months once. Just one example. Then I'll select the frequency as month and give the number as 3. So for every 3 months once, the schedule will be automatically initiated and your teammates will be automatically notified. And for this particular maintenance activities, what are all the checkpoints that needs to be performed by the end engineers? You can list all the checkpoints over here in different names like an inspection, monitoring, calibration, review, approval, or the spare replacement task. So for an example, I will consider an inspection task over here. So for the daily PPM or the 3 month inspection, what are the checklists that needs to be performed by the end engineers? So you can list unlimited number of checklists. There is no limitations over here. The answer type can be either yes, no, not applicable. In some cases, if we ask a teammate to note down any readings, we can switch to the value type. Similarly, for one equipment, you can create multiple schedules like weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annual schedule. And for one schedule, you can create multiple checklists. So let's consider we configure an asset, and for the asset, we configure an preventive maintenance that needs to be performed for every 3 months once. Maybe in the next step, I can just set reminders and escalations for this particular preventive maintenance if required. So you can set multi-level reminders and multi-level escalations. So before the task, to whom and all it needs to be reminded. So for an example, before 1 week, what is the message it needs to be conveyed, to whom and all it needs to be notified. And if you want to send a notification to any other like the third party service contractors, you can also type their contractor email IDs over here. Others, similarly, you can create multiple reminders before 1 week, before 1 day, what is the message it needs to be conveyed. Similarly, if the task was not performed on time, to whom and all it needs to be escalated. You can also define the frequency for that. So for the maintenance, you can create both the reminders and escalations. Now we added the preventive maintenance. In the next step, I'm just going to initiate the particular preventive maintenance and I'm going to assign to the particular engineer. So here to initiate, we just need to define the date and time from when it needs to be started. And here we can assign the engineer who is responsible to address the particular preventive maintenance. So once it has been done, it will be automatically initiated from this date and from this particular time based on the frequency you have given, and it will automatically sends 3 types of alerts to the end engineer. They'll be getting an email notification, mobile app notification, and the push notification stating that he or she needs to perform the particular preventive maintenance for the particular machine on the particular date and time. So as the engineer, they will go and address the maintenance activity using their mobile application. So maybe I can just present some sample screenshot of end engineer's mobile application. So this is a sample screens of an engineer's mobile application where the engineer can switch between schedules and tickets. So schedule means all the planned preventive maintenance and ticket means all the breakdowns or the complaints. And here as an engineer, I can track the status, how many maintenance activities were open, how many maintenance activities were in progress, and how many maintenance activities were overdue. And I can also check my calendar. So for today, what all the activities I need to be performed. So I can either accept, reject, or I can directly start my activity if I was ready with the unit. So consider I'm accepting and starting this particular maintenance. So it gives an overview. So for which machine I am going to do the preventive maintenance and what is the schedule detail. So once I reviewed, I can give check-in. So on check-in, the date and time will be automatically captured and I'll select start schedule. So it lists all the checklists you have configured for the particular maintenance activities. So as an engineer, I can just give my responses. After completing each checkpoint, I can give my response and I can add an attachments like before and after service images. So similarly, I can complete all my checkpoint and I can give submit. So the total downtime will be captured, and as an engineer I can leave the overall comment for the particular preventive maintenance, and I can also put my signature and I can give submit. So on submission, this preventive maintenance has been closed by the engineer side. As the management level or as the maintenance manager, you can the end customer can track the status over here under the work order in the preventive section. So we categorize the preventive into 5 different categories based on the industrial standards, like new, in progress, overdue, upcoming, and closed. So new means all the open activities our team needs to be performed. In progress, all the activities our team already started working on and it's been completed and it's waiting for final approval either by the manager or by the admin user. So once a manager acknowledges the particular preventive maintenance, it will be automatically moved to the closed section. Suppose let's consider a scenario that the task was not completed properly. So the manager can also reopen the particular preventive maintenance. That is also very much possible. So let's consider I'm just acknowledging this particular preventive maintenance. So it will be automatically moved to the closed section. And in the overview, you can find all the activities that cross the assigned timeline. And in the upcoming, you can find all the activities for the future. Maybe for the upcoming next 6 months, you can find all the activities. And in the close section, you can find all the activities that has been completed by our team. So for all the completed, the report will be automatically generated. Maybe we can just walk through with one sample report. So here the logo and address will be replaced by the end customer logo and addresses. And here you can just find what is the schedule ID, the name, when it was planned, when it was completed, the location data, and what is the total time taken, the total asset downtime, for which machine we did the preventive maintenance, what is the checklist we have given, answers given by the maintenance team, before and after service images along with the timestamp on which date and time the image has been captured and uploaded into this Innomaint application, and who is the engineer, the check-in time, check-out time, total time taken along with the engineer signature, and who acknowledged and approved the particular preventive maintenance. So all the data will be reflected over here, so we can download this report at any time. So this is about the preventive maintenance. So overall, using this Innomaint application, you can add all your assets, and for the assets, you can just configure all your preventive maintenance that needs to be performed on different frequencies. So we can just assign those preventive maintenance to the end engineers. So the engineers will be notified on the date and time, and we can also set alerts for that. So based on the task assigned, the engineer will perform their activity on the date and time. So on completion, the report will be generated. So this is about the preventive maintenance module. So the next scenario will be the breakdown maintenance or the complaint management. So here we are following two methods to raise and breakdown. So in most of the manufacturing industries, in order to avoid the downtime, they will raise a QR code based breakdown. So by just scanning the QR code pasted in the particular machine or in the particular asset, they will raise and breakdown. Or we can also raise the same breakdown using the Innomaint web application. So first we can see how the complaints can be raised in the mobile application by the end user. So in the Innomaint mobile application, You can select the option called create ticket. So it automatically redirects to this page. Here, by just scanning the QR code, these fields will be automatically filled, or we can also select from the drop down. So we have given both the options based on the user convenience. You can just create the breakdown. So here I'm just selecting the data manually. So once it's done, I'll select the option called create ticket. So it asks you for the asset status, what was the severity, what was the defect. It lists all the defect that has been added previously for the particular machine. If it was a new defect, you can type your custom defects over here. And like as a end user, I can leave the comments for the particular complaint, and I can add the image, or I can record a video, or I can also give a voice note related to this particular ticket, and I can give summary. So on submission, this ticket will be, or the breakdown will be created. So it automatically notify the maintenance team. So the maintenance team will assign the engineer to address the particular breakdown maintenance. The same complaint or the breakdown can also be raised directly from the web application. So in the web application, you can come to the work order, breakdown, create. So here you can choose the categories of the complaint. You can define your own categories, electrical, mechanical, or you can define what all the categories that is available based on your industry. And you can create two types of breakdown. One is asset based ticket and next one is generic ticket. So the common difference was the asset based ticket means it was a ticket that has been related to any of the assets. So if it was a generic ticket, it is not related to any of the assets. It's like related to any of the outside common areas or a very generic complaint. So let's create an asset based ticket over here. So for creating the asset based ticket, either you can follow the top to bottom approach or you can follow from the bottom. So either we can directly select the asset ID that was printed on the QR code. So the rest of the fields will be automatically captured over here. So what is the manufacturer, category, name, model, and you can select the status, whether the asset was compliant or it was completely stopped, and what was the defect. So as we discussed, it lists all the defect that we added previously for the particular machine. And we can also define the severity of the particular breakdown, and you can also describe the defect in detail, and you can also add any images, video or audio related to the particular breakdown, and you can give summary. So on submission, this breakdown has been created. So as informed, it will be automatically notify the maintenance team. So the maintenance team will assign the engineer from here. So it lists all the engineers available in this Innomaint application. So you can select the responsible engineer and you can give submit. So on submission, this engineer will be notified like an email notification, mobile app. He will go and address the breakdown using his mobile app. So the same progress, I'm just switching to the ticket section. I have to open breakdown. I can accept or reject. I'm accepting the breakdown. So it gives an overview. What is the ticket detail, like when it was raised and when it was assigned to me and what was the severity and for which machine or the equipment I'm going to attend the particular breakdown. And I can also refer the attachments. Like before, while raising the complaint or the breakdown, if there is any attachments added, I can refer those in the attachment section, and I can also refer the solution bank. Means what all the history of compliance or the breakdown that has been raised for the particular machine, and what was the root cause and solution given by the early engineers. So once I reviewed, I can just give check-in. The date and time will be captured. So here we'll be getting three possible scenarios. One, if as an engineer it's a breakdown straight away, I can straight away put it as fixed over here. The second scenario, I may need some support to address the particular breakdown. In that scenario, I can select the request for support. So it automatically notified my maintenance manager. So he can assign some additional manpower to support me on this particular breakdown. And the third use case will be, for example, in the particular breakdown, I want to replace an inventory or the spare part. So if that's the scenario, I'll select the replace spare part icon. So it automatically takes me to the inventory section where I can select what is the inventory I want to replace and how much quantity I may need. So once I select this, it goes to an approval to my maintenance manager, stating that the particular engineer is requesting this particular spare part or the inventory to attend the particular breakdown. So on my manager approval, I can replace the spare part and I can put the complaint to fixed or closed. So the total asset downtime will be captured, and as engineer, I can leave the completion note, root cause and solution for this overall breakdown, and I can add an after service images. So I can add up to 5 images, one video and one audio note, and I can put my signature and I can give submit. So on submission, this breakdown has been closed by the engineer side. As the management level or as a supervisor level, you can track the status over here. Humans, what all the open complaints in progress, all the complaints our team already started working on and it's waiting for approval. So here the end user can approve the particular breakdown, or if it was not done properly, they can also reopen the particular breakdown. And in the overview, you can find all the breakdowns that cross the assigned timeline, maybe that cross the turnaround time. And in the pro section, you can find all the breakdown that has been completed. So for all the completed, the report will be automatically generated. So the same, the logo and addresses will be replaced. And here we can just find the complete ticket history, like what is the ticket ID, when it was raised, who raised the complaint, the defect, in which location the complaint has been recorded, the service category, when it was raised, when it was completed, and when it was response resolved, total time taken, the total machine downtime, for which asset the breakdown has been registered, the service detail like engineer name, what was the problem given, what was the root cause and solution given by the end engineer, the engineer signature, the check-in time, check-out time, total time taken, the before and after service images, and who is the person finally approved the breakdown maintenance. His signature and his comments will be populated over here. So we can download this report at any time. So this is about the breakdown maintenance. So in one application, you can manage both the preventive maintenance and also the breakdown maintenance for the assets available in the multiple location or in the same location. So for all the prevent maintenance activities, what all the inventories we are managing, we can manage in the same application under the spare part stock module. So here we can add all the inventories that is available in a warehouse or in our store by just defining the category, subcategory, name, what was the unit of measurement. If required, you can also upload the image of the particular inventory, and you can define the quantity, how much quantity is available, and what is the reorder level. So the reorder level here defines the minimum quantity. So for every transactions, if you are consuming the spare part, right? So once it reaches a particular value, you will automatically get an alert that spare reaches the minimum value. So we need to restock it. And you can also define the unit rate of the particular spare. And if required, you can also map the inventory based on the location wise or based on the technician wise. So this is a simple tool where you can put all your inventories by just defining the manufacturer unit rate, quantity that is available, and you can also define the reorder level. And in future, if you want to add the new stock, you can just select the add stock option and put the new quantity that you have purchased and along with the description. So the new quantity will be added into the stock, and you can check the stock log over here. So what was the last add-on quantity or what was the last consumed quantity? What is the closing stock? How much is the unit price? Whether we added or whether we consumed? What is the description given by the store team? And what was the reorder level? So those data will be captured over here. So till now, we covered how you can add the asset into this Innomaint application, and for the asset, how you can plan your preventive maintenance, and how it can be addressed or executed by the end engineers, and how the breakdown can be raised in the Innomaint application, and how the engineers performing the breakdown maintenance using their mobile application, and how the reports will are generating automatically, and how it can be viewed, and in the inventories how you can add your inventories, and how you can map the inventory with your assets. So till now we covered the basic CMS. In the next step, we'll just walk through with some of the reports that we can avail in this Innomaint application. So maybe I'll just walk through with some of the important reports that actually benefits our customer. So the five fields which is common in all the reports were the strong filter option. So you can just get the filter in all the reports. So you can the customize a report for one particular location, or for one particular machine, or for one particular engineer, and you can also extract the report in both Excel and also in the PDF format, and you'll get the timeline. So for an example, if you want the report for the particular month, you can just select the timeline and you can give generate. That's it. So normally the transactional report gives you the history of all the maintenance activities. Under the schedule, you can get the history of all the preventive maintenance. In schedule, you can get the history of all the breakdown maintenance. And in the spare parts, you'll get the history of all the inventories you used in both preventive and the breakdown maintenance. And in the spare forecasting, you can find what all the spares you are going to consume in the next 6 months. And in the performance report, you can track the end user performance, like an engineer's performance, like how many tasks were assigned to the particular user and how many were rejected by them. What was the total time taken by the end user to address all the maintenance activities. Similarly, we have an asset performance, like what is the total asset available hours, what is the time we have taken for the preventive maintenance, and what is the number of breakdown raised for the particular machine, the time taken to address all the breakdown, total machine availability, the MTTR rate, and the MTBF rate. So those data will be captured over here. And in the asset report, you'll get the consolidated asset data from here. So how many assets were added into this Innomaint application, how much were active, how much were inactive, number of maintenance we planned and it has been initiated, and how much were assigned to the end engineers. Spare part stock report generally gives you the stock that is available in your warehouse, how much quantity is available and what is the total cost. And in the usage report, we can just see either you added any quantity or either you consumed any quantity. Those transactions will be captured over here under this pair usage report. And in the move management report, for an example, if we are moving the asset from one location to another location, or in the same location we are moving from one plant to another plant, those movement will be captured in this move management report. So these are all the some of the important reports that is available. And apart from this, we have the 52 weeks calendar for the management peoples. So the management peoples don't want to come into the application to check each and every status. They can just go to their calendar. They can overview like how much activities or what all the activities that our team needs to be performed for the particular machine on the particular day, week, month, and what was the status. So based on the color code, we can differentiate the activity. Similarly, if they want to see the end user calendar or their engineer's calendar, they can go to the scheduler option. So this engineer has been assigned these two activities on the particular day. What was the status? So to get the detailed view, you can just select the particular task. So it automatically redirects to the detailed one. And finally, we have the dashboard page. So in the dashboard, we can have on the complete asset status, like how many assets we are managing in this Innomaint application. So among this number of assets, how many assets were in breakdown maintenance, and how many assets were in preventive maintenance, and how many assets were working on a proper condition. So the management can see either on a location wise, or they can also see on the asset model wise. Or if they want to see the overall numbers, they can see in the main dashboard. like what is a preventive and what is a breakdown, the numbers and what is the number of schedule we plan versus number of activities were completed by the team. And they can also see like the key performance things indicators, like what is the total asset downtime, what is the mttr rate, what is the mtbf rate, and what is the total time spent by the team on all the maintenance activities. So this gives you an overall idea about this product Innomaint. So the next, my colleague will give you a walkthrough on the different use cases and solution that we provided to our customers.
Yes. Meantime, like if there is any questions here, we can post it over there. So it will be helpful for to understand how you are well working. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Satish, for the demo. Like I'll show you like what all the use cases that we have given to the many industry verticals here. So on that, like how the manufacturing units is benefiting out of CMS, I'll show you in a clear picture. So I'm sharing my screen with you now. I believe like you are all able to see my screen. Yes. So this is one of my customer. Like they are using our software for past 2 years. They are a 50 years old company. They were the software past years, and when we are approaching them, they were using only Excel to maintain all their data. But after using the CMMS now, like they have digitalized all their efforts, and they are maintaining all their preventives and breakdowns using our software, which help them to increase 35% of their asset life, and it have reduced the downtime for them and uh, increase in the productivity by 30%. The basic pain points what they were addressing is like they already have a ERP with them. Even then, they were using Excel sheets to do the maintenance part. In order to automate those maintenance part and to digitalize their maintenance part, they approached us, and now they are doing it in a very creative manner. Uh, so another use case which I can highlight is KJCF, which is an manufacturing unit which is in Malaysia. They were creating end product with a paper. Sorry. So like they were making end products out of the carton boxes that they have. This is a very interesting client. Like they started with the 5 users per package starting initially. Then after they have moved to the 10 users package, and now they are working on the on-premises model. And they are using this particular software past 2 years in order to maintain all their maintenance activities using CMS software. So before they were using all those. They were doing all their data in Excel sheet, and they asking us like whether SMS breakdown, SMS can be sent to the breakdown. Once breakdown is occurs, like if there's any SMS module that they can do it, so for easy approach of the customers, and also they were asking me whether that ISO comes with the software, because like they have a very good ISO system. So after giving the CMS with them, like they're doing like very good in their maintenance part, which 21% of their operational cost, 21% of the operational saving cost was they were saving 21% of their operational cost, and 18% action in their maintenance repair. And are also helpful for them to do the maintenance part, like have a calendar, which it was very easy also to maintain the work order for their workforce. Uh, so this is an interesting use case that I have is the Bonjour, where socks manufacturing company, which is a competitor for the jockey company that you have all heard about it. They are having 290 machines, and interesting fact is that they don't even have an maintenance system to monitor it. They were maintaining all their data in Excel sheet, and they while talking to their manager, he have pointed out some of the pain points that one they cannot maintain in Excel sheet, or like they cannot maintain all their data in, which was for them to address the issues at right time, and they can there are many missing preventive means that they found out. So after implementing the CM with them with the QR code the scanner option that we are providing them, it was very easy for them to identify the assets easily, and doing the maintenance schedule was be happening in a very effective manner they were using in the Excel sheet. And we have given them the reports that they are generating it, which is very helpful for them to analyze where exactly the bottleneck is happening. So, what is the maintenance cost they are incurring it? How much spare they are consuming it? All those data they are having a drop. And with the QR code scanning option, like it was also very helpful for them to do the auditing part. Whether to find whether all the assets are in place or not. For an example, the fire extinguisher in the company, in order to maintain the safety compliances, they like whether everything is on the right place or not. So in that case, like they were using the CMMS, which is more helpful for them. And in their use cases, they were like 20% uptime. Have been done in their machines, and ROI also like improved very well after implementing the CMS with them. Other than this, we do also quality solutions to the companies where they can make the machine communicate instead without any human intervention. So in all the manufacturing units, in very big manufacturing units, they have machineries which will be having an PLC machine with them, or like smart meters which is compiled with them, or like they will be having a SCADA. So through which they would like to have an make the machines to communicate with our system. So that is also have been done by our system as well. So we have provided an system where like the IoT gateways will be fixed with that particular mesh in order to get the information directly from the machines, and it communicates to the cloud. So it was easy for the managers to sit in the home and understand like what is happening in the manufacturing unit. And it also sets you the alerts. So alerts like if it reaches or breaches that particular threshold value. For an example, if it's a temperature, vibration, or like any parameters that they want to monitor, once it reaches that particular threshold value, automatically alerts will be sent to them. So based on that, they will be doing the condition-based monitoring. So which helps them to address the big problem in future at early budding stage itself. So that's how like will be more helpful for them. So we can also have an in detailed presentation after this. So you can also reach us out after this call. So if there's any questions that you have, like you can shoot us now. We are happy to answer all questions.
Hi, I think already three of the partners have, sent a message in chat. So we'll unmute one by one. We'll start off with Muthuram. So once he completes, we'll move on to Gautam. Then we'll move on to Valentine from Nigeria. Muthuram, you can go ahead and
Yeah,
unmute yourself.
good evening to all. This is Muthuram from Bangalore. So I have a first question. Is the financial aspect, like what is the maintenance amount or cost and then how much we have utilized that part of it in terms of preventive or the breakdown maintenance? Is there anywhere that model is taking care somewhere so that the top management is aware of it, whether we are crossing the financial management level or we have to allocate more, something like that?
Sam here.
Yeah.
So I think we have already done few case studies. We have done more than 300 installations across 15 different countries. And so whatever feedback that we got from the existing customers is that they have recovered the ROI of whatever they are going to spend for the maintenance management system in 6 months. That's the feedback that we got. So for the detailed ROI, probably I'll share a document with you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cost that they can save in the preventive maintenance and the breaks, of course, we have the data which we'll share it over a deck.
Okay. I am done with my question. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks. Thanks a lot. So next, probably Gautam, sir, you can unmute yourself and ask the question. Next, we can move on to Valentine. Gautam Biswal, sir. Also, we can hear from Valentine. Valentine is connecting from Nigeria. Valentine, you can unmute yourself now.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Valentine from Nigeria. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Loud
Okay,
and
yeah,
clear.
I actually observed something when the training was going on. So I wanted to ask a question on the issue of the preventive maintenance. When he was showing the mobile app version for the engineer on the field. So I saw an icon bearing ticket. So I want to ask a question for the engineers in the field. Is there any way they can raise a ticket if they encounter any difficulty or if they have something to pass on? And they raise a ticket, and if they raise the ticket, where is it landing and who is attending to it?
So you wanted to understand if the technician or the engineers miss something in the tickets, whom they can reach out, right, to get the further help. Is that something you wanted to understand, Valentine?
Yes. But I actually saw from the mobile app version. I saw tickets. The reason why I said because one of the platforms we are managing here in Nigeria is Zoho, and in Zoho there's what is called Zoho Desk, which handles ticketing, ticket resolutions. So I immediately I saw the ticket on the Innomaint of the mobile version of it for the engineers in the field. So I wanted to know, can the engineer raise a ticket while in the field? Maybe if he encounters a difficulty or if there's something that he needs to communicate to the people, maybe to his supervisor or to whoever that is in charge, can he raise a ticket? And if he raises a ticket, where is it landing and who is attending to it?
Yes, of course. Satish, can you please just share the screen? So Valentine wants to understand that if a technician is trying to perform a task and if he's facing any issue, probably how he can, I mean, raise a support or how he can request for the support.
So hi Valentine, Satish here. So for your question, the end engineer can raise a complaint using their mobile application. So we
Okay.
Innomaint offers all the users to raise instant complaints. Either they are on the field or they are on the office, they can raise a complaint using the Innomaint mobile application. Also, once a complaint has been raised, it will be automatically notify their maintenance manager or their team leaders. So either they can assign the engineer and ask them to complete the complaint, but till the date from the date of assigning till the date of completion, all the actions will be sent as a notification. to the person who raised the particular complaint.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. That answers my first question, and it's taking me to the second question, which is for the engineer to be making use of the mobile app. Definitely, the engineer is supposed to be a user of Innomaint platform, right? Am I right?
Yes.
All
All
right.
right.
All right. Thank you so much. That will be all for now. That will be all for now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. So we have a question from Rudolf from Germany. So he asks, how much time does it take for setting up a new factory with pre-production assembly line and packaging? Rudolf, I think we had a similar discussion with, Rahul Goyal and I think you a few months ago. So our system mostly focus on the maintenance part. We don't have the production as of now and the assembly line and packaging. So whatever modules that we have associated with the Innomaint application, like the inventory or the procurement, everything complements the maintenance module, right? Of course, we have the BPM now. We can create any workflow. So probably but for specifically for production and assembly, we don't have modules as of now, but we have certain things in our pipeline. We have project management in our pipeline, which will cover certain areas in pre-production. So we'll just keep you updated once everything is ready. But I think we have the business process modeling now, along with the dashboard and customized dashboard, which will cover certain areas in production. But of course, it is not the extensive module that we have. I hope I answered your question, Rudolf. Rudy, that's how we call. So Rudy is connecting from Germany, and I think Gautam is unable to, unmute. So we can ask Gautam to pose the question here. So if anyone else wants to ask a question, the forum is open for everyone. If we can, Hemang.
Maybe, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, Rudy.
Yeah. So maybe I didn't precise my question enough. So what I meant is the following: imagine there was a location. I'm not talking about setting up a pre-production. I'm saying I'm looking for maintenance for pre-production and assembly line with different machines. Assembly line maybe 15 stations. What I saw based on your examples is that, of course, you do offer for different stations we have in pre-production or assembly line maintenance, right? Preventive maintenance, breakdown maintenance. This is what I understood from your presentation. Or not? Is it something at that point of time not within the software? You understand my question?
Yes, Rudy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Perfect. So, Rudy, anything related to the preventive and the breakdown, of course, it will not take more than a week or two to set up. Because if the customer has the data ready, that's how we experienced with our existing customers. If they have the data ready, like the list of locations, list of assets to manage, list of schedules that they want to create, and list of technicians that they're going to perform the task. If they have the data ready, we can go live within a week or two. So during the pre-production, if they have the data, of course, we can configure that in the system. We can go live within at least 2 weeks. And if it is an on-premise installation, probably take at least a month for the data configuration and also the training part. So for the pre-production assembly line packaging, only for the maintenance, of course, we can. It takes not more than 2 weeks to go live.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for asking.
Maybe
Gautam has, yes, Gautam can ask now.
is it audible now?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I have posted my question in any way. My question was actually in your solution you have covered both preventive maintenance as well as the breakdown maintenance. But in some industries where the downtime of any equipment will be very critical for the business. So actually for those industries, the predictive maintenance, the health monitoring of the equipment on real-time basis is very, very important. So do you have this solution in mind, or you have this solution implemented somewhere?
Okay, let me answer the question, Gautamji. So for the predictive maintenance, of course, we have the IoT solutions. We have our own sensors where we can connect it with any equipments that can communicate the data, and it will completely predict the, I mean, machine health, the equipment's health, and send the notifications and alerts on a real-time basis. So we have the IoT capabilities. There we have energy management, OWE live monitoring, overall equipment efficiency can be monitored, and OWE calculation can be done on a real time. And we have environment management, we have waste management, fleet management. So we have recently launched all these solutions, and we have implemented in many areas now. So anything related to real-time data capturing, sending alerts on real-time, of course, we have the capabilities. So if you have any specific use case in predictive maintenance, we can really work on it, because you know that most of the predictive maintenance is related to the data, right? So if they have a past history of data related to the assets or equipments, we can use our AI ML capabilities, and we can provide the solutions.
Yeah.
And to add one more point, we are a group of companies. One of our companies is completely they are into AI and ML solution provider. So we can collaboratively provide the solutions to you.
Fine, fine. So there is supplementary question to that. When you take all this data into cloud and then monitor centrally, actually, what we have seen from the industry point of view, they are slightly hesitant to share their data in the cloud because the question of cybersecurity and all those risk element is come into place. So, are we taking care of that thing so that fear can be removed from the mind of user?
Sure, Gautamji. So what we have done is that one is we have already got the SOC level 2 certification, which will completely take care of the customer data protection. So which is a standard that is in the market. The second one is we always suggest them to go with the on-premise installation, where we can completely install the entire application in customers' own servers. So this will completely take care of it, where the entire data will be available in their own premises, their own servers. So these two.
Exactly. Yes. Adding to Sam's point, actually, like hosting in the on-premises model, not only in the physical server, also like we are open to host it in your own cloud as well. You can buy your own cloud and you can get the data in that. So which will be more secure, and you never want to share any data with us. Like everything will be under your control. That is also can be done.
Okay, we'll discuss in detail subsequently in that because we have some experiences in that area. Okay, so we can discuss in detail. Okay,
Sure, sure, Mr. Kaur.
thank you.
Sir, I'm Ashish Dev. I just have one clarification. That your PTW system, that is a one permit to work system. So how it is interfacing with your maintenance, breakdown maintenance or preventive maintenance with this PTW system?
Ashish, can I come again? Ashish, can you come again with your question?
Yeah. I am telling your mobile-based application or whatever may be that your soft-based system in breakdown maintenance or predictive maintenance. But finally, when maintenance engineer will perform the work, he has to take a permit for the safety purpose of view for isolation of electric supply or isolation, all these things. So how it is interfacing?
Exactly, Mr. Ashish. Like I understand your question. Yes. So before doing any maintenance activities, we will be providing them the permit to work activities as well. So before doing the maintenance activities, he have to perform the safety measures. Like we have to check like whether we call this LOTO, right? Lockout tagout
Yeah, yeah,
system.
yes.
So yeah. So that has to be done. So that also like unless he completed that particular inspection task, he cannot move to the next inspection task, which is the maintenance part. So we have the system in that way also. So first he have to do the measuring. First he have to do the lockout tagout system. Then after he have to check whether he are wearing the
So
goggles, wearing the helmet.
that part is in soft or it is in a hard copy?
No, the software. It is in the software. like while creating the PPM itself, like we can define these two man to be done. After that, only he can able to do the maintenance activities, preventive maintenance.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And just another question, what Mr. Gautam also asking that is there any special software available with you where you can optimize our breakdown or preventive maintenance and finally move to predictive?
So we need more information on it. Can you come again? How you are expecting, sir? Can you come again, sir? Sorry, I missed you.
I am telling that
Mhm.
people are doing normally schedule based maintenance, that is preventive maintenance, and
Exactly.
breakdown, which is breakdown is actually not desirable. So if
Exactly.
is there any diagnosis or any your analytics part in your software where we
Yes.
can attack the root cause and we can guide our customers? So these are the issues, and we can in that way we can optimize our breakdown or optimize our preventive maintenance, and finally we can go for
Ex-
a condition based or predictive maintenance.
Exactly. So that is how it works actually. Like we have in our system, like while doing the maintenance part, like there's an option to get like problem identified. So my service technician, while he's going for a PPM, like while doing PPM, if he finds anything unusual, for an example, in a DG, I am working on the preventive maintenance. I find the oil level is very low, then I can address it on that particular spot itself. Until unless that particular ticket is closed, this particular PPM won't be closed. So I'll be it will be helpful for me to find the future problem at the early stage itself, budding stage itself, which will be helpful for me giving a better ROI and better efficiently maintenance part,
Yeah.
effective maintenance.
Can I come again? This is Gautam here.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
just to extend that question further for more clarity, suppose on a particular
mhm,
equipment we have a history of defects, suppose for a
yes,
duration of 1 year or two. So,
yes,
what he is asking, can you analyze
mhm,
the defects? Suppose the equipment has failed because of oil
exactly.
temperature, oil level, or bearing temperature. Okay,
Yes, exactly.
if we
I
have
was
that,
about to answer that question
yeah,
actually. Satish, can you able to share your screen? We do have this dashboard which tells you like what is the repeated problems occurring again and again. So which will be helpful for me to understand what is the repeated problems occurring after again and again in the system. And especially if I want to select curated for that particular asset also, I can take report. Based on that, I can do the analysis and I can check what is this particular problem occurring again and again. So I can also raise a generic ticket to do analysis on this, and then my team also can work around, and I can also get the report on it as well. So what is the root cause they found? What is the solution they have given? That also can be tracked using our software.
So, Mr. Gautam sir, as you informed, right, that you have 2 years of data on the root cause and solution. So, if we given the data, we can also go for the OI analysis. So, like these are the complaints may happen in the future, and when we need to do the preventive maintenance, that we need to customize it.
yeah,
It
yeah.
is not available in the existing applications,
Okay.
but we have
So
an option to customize it.
actually, we have been doing during our this thing service life
Okay.
to how to minimize the defects. Actually,
Yes. Yes.
how to actually improve the reliability of the equipment and increase the availability. Yeah, that is the ultimate
Yes.
objective for any organization. So
So
for yeah,
your expectation was based on the list of defects that has been raised on the past 2 years. You want to know what all the
yeah,
defects may arise in the future and how we can reduce that
yeah.
defect and how we can increase the productivity, right? So
Your
for yes, for that we have the YY analysis, but it's still in the development stage. It's not completely developed, so but we are working on that. But
okay.
if it's required immediately, we can do the customization for you.
Okay, I got it. Actually, since your system is very, very flexible with lot
Yes.
of intelligence, actually in our earlier days, this was very primitive type of ERP or something. So now
Yes.
the system is very intelligent. Mr. Dev is asking that facility so that you can even know what are the main, the parameter analysis.
Yes, sir,
Uh,
you're right. Pareto analysis, the YY
you
analysis.
can do. If you
Yes,
add your
yes.
height and weight, probably you will be doing justice to your equipment.
And this,
Okay.
Understood, sir.
Yes. As of now, like we have it only in manual intervention. Like it will be giving you the analysis of like what all the repeated problems occurring again and again. Based on that, like manually, like you can analyze it. But like we are, as Satish told, we are working on it. In future, we'll be giving it that as well.
Good. Actually, now data analysis is a very integral part of any solution. So, any good.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, sir.
Yeah. What one question I have from my side.
Yes, Hemant.
Yeah. The companies, many of them do have the existing ERP, and they also use maintenance modules. Like in SAP, there is a separate maintenance module. So, how Innomaint software is capable to merge with that, because they already have a setup in ERP. So is there any system that this can be bridged, or how it works?
Uh, so Hemant, Sam here. So to add a point, we have already done integration with individual standalone ERP systems like SAP, Maximo, and few other systems. So it is a two-way communication that we have done. So for example, since because of the cost involved in a maintenance module of SAP, they are using, customers like say there are few people who are already using SAP or using Innomaint. So whatever we update here in our Innomaint application, it will get updated in the other modules of SAP. For example, whatever inventory that the customers consume in the maintenance module of Innomaint, it will get updated in the inventory management module of SAP. So similarly, it's a two-way communication. Whatever you update there, it has been updated here in our system. So it has been done with Sri Siemens, who were already using SAP, and with Jindal Group, who were already using SAP. So we have already done those integrations, and we are also in the process of generating like 20 to 25 different connectors. So using the connectors and the APIs, we can integrate Innomaint with any other standalone systems. So we can completely take care of that.
Adding to Sam's point, actually, like for the companies who's already using SAP, in even they have the maintenance module, they don't have a mobile phone application with them. So what happens is like every time like the engineers has to do it in the handbook, or like they have to enter it in the Excel sheet. Again, some person has to enter it again in the SAP, which can be sorted out using Innomaint CMMS. So by integrating it, like whatever you're doing it in the CMS, which will be reflecting in SAP as well. This will be the added point, valuable point for you to convince the customer.
Yeah, exactly, because few of the guys, I've made a communication verbally. So they were also telling this that we do have SAP, and now we have purchased maintenance module as well.
Exactly.
So what is the need of something else?
Yeah.
And Hemantji, the reason why companies like Sri Siemens and Jindal, even though they were using ERP systems, they opted for Innomaint is that we can do complete product customization, which is not so in the case of certain ERP systems, right? So we can do the complete product customization in whatever workflows that they require. We can give it to them, and we have the customized dashboard. So we have like thousands of widgets available, so we can provide it in whatever way that the customer requires. So that's the reason they have, integrating both applications and using it. Hope we answered your questions. So
Yeah.
we also have on, presentation which covers the advantages of using Innomaint when compared to any other ERP system. So we don't compete with ERP systems; we complement each other. So probably I'll just share it with you after the call, Hemantji.
Okay.
For time being, we have already passed an hour, which we actually scheduled. We completely understand that you guys are really busy. So probably we can wind up the session now. So we are planning to do one more training session by next week, same time. So for a different workflow. So whatever we have seen it for managing your own assets and facilities, right? Next week we are planning to, showcase a demo where the customers can manage the client's asset and client's facility. So we'll show the field service management flow. So we always, welcome you to join for the next training session as well. So if you have any doubts, meanwhile, probably you feel free to reach out either to me or Pramod or Bharati. So probably you might have all our email addresses. So we'd be happy to answer you. you once again for joining the call. We really appreciate, your time and your interest. So, yeah, thank you.